have some breaking news now. Police have just made an arrest in the shooting death of a teenager in a mall parking lot.
In the last 10 minutes, we learned police have a suspect in custody in the killing of Elijah DeWitt. Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez is live in Gwinnett County. Taisha, you have the latest on this breaking development.
That suspect is in custody out of state. We are working to find out more about what his connection is to this case, but police do not believe he is a stranger to the teen. They believe they knew each other in some way. That teen was walking out of this Dave Buster's last night when police say he was shot.
It hurt.
It's been a somber day at Memorial Stadium, where 17-year-old Elijah DeWitt practiced and played football games for Jefferson High School. One of his motivational coaches, Devon Gales, told us Elijah, number 2, was a star player.
Yes, he was a major part of the team, and he had a scholarship coming. I knew he did. He's a silly, he is a very outgoing kid. He loves his friends, his brothers, very family-oriented. And he's a chill guy.
While police are still investigating, working to identify who shot the teen, some of Elijah's friends told me they thought this was some sort of drive-by shooting. But Gwinnett County Police are now saying they believe the shooter knew the teen in some way. Jefferson High School is on fall break this week, but the football team was supposed to have practice Thursday morning. Coaches canceled it because the team was clearly distraught over this huge loss.
This guy, just a phenomenal kid, a great athlete, and his life is taken just out of walking out of Dave Buster's.
Police say the investigation is ongoing, and we will get any new information to you as soon as we get it. We're live in Gwinnett County. Taisha Fernandez, Channel 2 Action News.
The murder of a high school football player at Sugarloaf Mills Mall in Gwinnett County. The suspects accused of killing him were in court today. And Channel 2's Gwinnett County Bureau Chief Matt Johnson is live at the Gwinnett County Jail. Matt, police say the victim was targeted and followed.
Yeah, police say Elijah DeWitt just stepped out of Dave Buster's with a friend to hang out in a truck. But police say that 2 people were outside waiting for him. 2 people, police say, who had just met him just a few days earlier.
The friends and family of Elijah DeWitt filled the Gwinnett County courtroom Friday as his accused killers faced a judge. The 17-year-old Jefferson High School football player died in October outside of a Dave Buster's at Sugarloaf Mills Mall. 18-year-old Kamari Bryan and 19-year-old Chandler Richardson are in jail charged with his murder.
Their messages going back and forth. Basically, they were looking for people in the mall to rob.
That's how the night of October 5th began for the 2 suspects, according to a homicide detective's testimony. But then he says Bryan and Richardson recognized DeWitt because DeWitt and his friends met them a few days earlier at the same place.
They were approached by 3 individuals who asked the victim if he had any marijuana that they could purchase.
A drug deal happened October 3rd between Richardson and DeWitt's friend, but it didn't involve DeWitt. 2 days later, police say DeWitt was targeted.
It was a surprise attack.
Bryan is accused of shoving him and firing the deadly shot after an unarmed DeWitt tried to fight him off. Police say Richardson fired a shot and missed, leaving useful evidence behind for when police arrested both of them and found them with guns.
The 2 9mm handguns were positively a match from the fire cartridge casings that were collected from the scene, which identify these guns as being the murder weapons.
Now, police say they used surveillance video as well, along with cell phone records, to find the suspects and arrest them. The case will now move forward in Superior Court. Live in Gwinnett County, Matt Johnson, Channel 2 Action News.
Today is Sunday, December 4th. The year is 2022, and as usual, I just turned this light on and plugged this light in and sat down here at this computer. And guess who comes run over Grace? He just flew across the room like a rock, flew over here. I'm like, where the hell he come from? Because he was upstairs. Anyway, if you just saw those 2 news reports I posted ahead of this video, there was a young man who was shot and killed out at what used to be called Discovery Mills Mall. I think they changed the name to something else. But it's he was coming out of Dave Buster's, and he was shot and killed. And I never understood what took place there, and now we have a better understanding of what happened. He was robbed. It was attempted robbery. He fought back, and they shot him and killed him. 2 men he didn't know robbed him, They maybe thought he had money, or who knows. A few years ago, a friend of mine, he's about 6'2", bodybuilder, weighs about a good 300 pounds, big guy. He was robbed. Somebody followed him from a group of young kids, as usual, followed him from an ATM machine. He went to the ATM machine, got some money, drove off, pulled him to a gas station or somewhere, something to do something. The kids jumped out of the car and robbed him. They pulled out a gun on him, told him to get down on the ground, took his stuff, took his wallet, the money he had just gotten out of the ATM machine, which wasn't very much money. They took his car, even drove off in his car, left him there, took his cell phone, all that stuff. He laid on the ground until they drove off. He didn't fight back with them. And here's the funny part, the interesting part about that. And I remember him making this clear to everybody at the gym. He was just telling the situation. He said, "You never fight back. Because one wrong move, and he would have been shot and killed by those kids because they're teenagers and they got those guns." And he said he knew when he saw these kids that he had to, go along with them because he didn't lose very much. He got his truck back. The little bit of money he took out of the ATM machine, they didn't get much. The truck, they found the truck, stripped of some wheels or something like that later on. But he got his life. He lived. And I remember him telling that story. And I remember when I got robbed here in Atlanta, sitting outside a gay club here called Loretta's back in the day, about early 90s. I was sitting there with a friend talking, and we were about to go in the club, and I learned a lot from that experience. When you park your car, you get out your car, you get the fuck up out of there, and get on the club. But we were in there talking. We were sitting in the parking lot of Arby's. If any of you all remember where Loretta's was at, there was an Arby's just a little down from there. We was parked there. And we were talking, and next thing we know, some guy would have jumped out of the car with a rifle, I could say, and pointed at me and robbed us. Took our wallets and watches and Nike shoes. And I remember I was very calm and gave them the stuff, and then they drove off and left. They jumped back in the car and ran. So, y'all got to be careful out here. Every time I see these incidents where somebody fights back, the guy that was at the Quick Trip gas station here in Atlanta, in the suburbs of Atlanta, when they tried to steal his car, he fought back. They shot and killed him. Another guy was leaving a wedding here in Atlanta at some country club. Some guy was robbing him. He fought back. They shot and killed him. Do not fight back with these crazy young fools. They will kill you. It ain't worth your life. The little bit of stuff that they take is not worth it. In many instances, if you take the car, you can probably get it back. If you don't get it back, it's fully insured. That young man that lost his life putting that air in his tire, and he saw those heathens jumping in his car. He should have just backed off, let him take it. He would have got it back. He'd still be alive now. I know some of y'all might say, "No, you got to fight back." No, I'm going to tell y'all something. Everybody I know who runs these streets, real niggas who have been robbed, they all said the same thing. Let them take what they want to take from you because you're being robbed. You don't want to be robbed of your life at the same time. A lot of y'all are very not street savvy. When somebody's robbing you, you got to give it the program. In many instances, they already know what they want from you. They were already scooped you out. Like my friend was robbed at the ATM. They had already saw him take some cash out of the ATM. They knew what they want. They want the money. And you got to figure it out because I think he even said he saw him come up behind him at the ATM and then follow him up the street. He knew better than to fight back with them crazy kids with them guns pointed at him, because he wouldn't be here right now. It's no sense even. This young kid lost his life because he thought, well, maybe I can fight back and win. You can't fight back against people who got guns, and you're not prepared to. And these kids out here today will kill you. They don't have a problem with that. They don't have a problem with pulling out those guns and taking your life away. It happens every day. Every day. Make sure you all tell your children or family members, if you're getting robbed, just go give them what they want. And then let them go about their business. Many instances like these kids, they got caught. These two young men, two teenagers who did the shooting, both they got caught. They had video surveillance, followed their cell phones, identified them, went picked them up very quickly, got them fast. I remember this happened. So I remember thinking, but I never quite understood what took place at that Dave Buster. Did he know these people? Were they friends? Was it a fight? Did they just have a random, they fighting over? You don't know what happened. But now we have a better understanding exactly what happened. Like this dog around my damn feet down here hunching on this damn toy. Why can't I just do this video in peace? Good Lord, he was just hunching away. Right under my feet, this damn toy down here. Just hunching, going at it. Why? You didn't eat your breakfast. You didn't drink your water. We didn't been outside. Shouldn't you be over there taking a nap someplace? As soon as I turned this light on, he ran across the room like a rocket over here. I'm like, wow. You got psychic vision. You knew I was about to do a video. How come they be in a video? Only person missing is Ginger. She must be still upstairs. She up there hiding somewhere. I gotta open and find her else. He over just hunching away on his little toy here. Here, take it go. Be careful out there, y'all. And I know that some of y'all, I can see y'all now. Nah, I'm gonna shoot back. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Trust me. Watch your back. Watch your surroundings. Put them cell phones down and walk across these parking lots. When you leaving a place of business, are you leaving an ATM machine? In fact, y'all, I haven't been to an ATM machine to get cash out in so long, I can't even remember. I don't do that no more. I have my debit cards. I don't do that. I don't necessarily, I make sure I have cash on me. I always make sure I have a certain amount of cash on me, but I'm not going to ATM because it's too dangerous. When people are watching and you don't know what's going on. If I do truly use an ATM, I try to go to like a grocery store, like Publix or Kroger, where they have a machine inside the grocery store, and I'm going to do some shopping. So if I ask for a drive-through ATM or a walk-up ATM out in the streets, hell no. I don't do that shit. And I strongly recommend that you all stop doing that also, because it's too dangerous. You don't want to go around and put your life at risk or doing something as simple as taking some cash out of ATM. And you at a gas station, or you leaving a place of business. I had a friend of mine who was leaving Papado's. As I was saying, I had a friend of mine who was leaving Papado's restaurant in Cobb County. And they were leaving, him and his wife. They had just got through, they were actually celebrating their anniversary or something like that. They were walking across the parking lot, but he noticed this guy came up behind them, and he noticed it. He saw the guy at the corner of his eye, but he saw this guy was kind of walking towards them kind of quickly as they were walking across the parking lot. And he just turned around, put his gun out, and said, "Hey." And the guy took off running. And he didn't notice the guy also had a gun and was about to rob them. But he was paying attention when his wife wasn't paying attention. She just running around and mouth, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, okay, something going on here. Pay attention when you are leaving public places. This has gotten more, Atlanta has become the whole United States has become a lot more, we got some desperate souls out here. Well, you have to wonder what made them kids think that they would get away with robbing that man outside their Dave Buster's at this mall. Security cameras every damn where. Cell phone tracking them. They tracked their ass all the way up the highway. They figured out who they were very quickly and identified them and went and got them two heathens. And they're going to be in Gwinnett County. Don't play it. It ain't like the city of Atlanta. Hell, they're going to be going to jail for a long, long time out there. They didn't kill that boy out there too. That family, you saw that courthouse. All their family members there. Them white folks was not having that shit. Their teenage son killed even a restaurant, Dave Buster's, over nothing. What could this kid have had? What could he have had on him of any value? Nothing. So what were they robbing? I mean, you have to wonder, what are these kids? My friend that was robbed that night at the gas station, he said they got less than $100 or something he took out the ATM machine. It wasn't a lot of money. They got his truck and they took all his tools and stuff like that out of the truck. Stripped the wheels, but he said the insurance company covered all that and he got the truck back. You know, everybody, when he was in the gym telling the story, you should have did this. He was like, no, y'all idiots. He had to sit them young folks down. I was sitting there shaking my head like, okay, they don't get this. He got started. If somebody's trying to rob you are robbing you, you got to get with the program. You might not like it, but you got to get with the program. Grayson, get over here, you bad nut. I can't believe this. As soon as I started this video, you are really... Get over here. Get out the window. Why? Here, take this damn toy. And get someplace to sit down. Yeah, but if somebody is trying to rob you, you might not like it. That night I was robbed outside that Loretta's nightclub in that Arby's parking lot. I just gave what they want. I gave my wallet. I had my driver's license and all that stuff. Now I keep 2 separate wallets, honey. One of my driver's license, one of my money, get that one, keep my damn wallet. And I have to, these wallets come in 2 pieces, so I have 2 parts of my wallet on me. My driver's license and credit card separate from my cash. You can take that cash and run on about the business. That's all they want. And then they took my damn Nike shoes. I never forgot I had some Air Jones. Like, give me them shoes. I'm like, oh, what? I kicked the shoes out of the car. He took them and ran off with them. Bunch of crazy. But they were kids. Even then, when I look back on it, I was probably in my early 20s at that time. I had to be about, 92. Wait, what car was I in? I think I was in that. I had a Ford Mustang. I'm pretty sure I was in that Mustang. So that had to be back maybe 93. I can't remember. Maybe it was 92, 93. But I was, the kids who came, the guys who, they were just kids. They were little teenagers who jumped out of cars. I remember these bunch of little kids. One held in this damn rifle. I mean, I could have lost my life over nothing. Air Jordans, and I didn't have very much money in my wallet at that time. I was able to replace my driver's license the very next day. I remember that because I was living in that house. It had to be like 93. But my friend that was robbed, we were in the gym talking, and all these people jumping in about he should have did this and he did that and that. And my friend actually had a gun on him, but he knew better. He said no. He went on there. Actually, they didn't get his gun. He realized he had a gun on him. He could have fought back. He could have shot. But what's the point? Now, some of y'all are going to probably tell me, they're going to shoot you anyway. I know a lot of people who've been robbed who are still walking around here and will tell you about it. I know plenty of folks who have been robbed and carjacked and every damn thing else. And they get out with the program. When you fight back, you're going to have a problem. Because for these people who are robbing you or carjacking you or whatever they're attempting to do, they mean business. And they will kill you. So is it worth dying for a car? Or a couple of $100 you might have in your wallet? Or maybe you went shopping and, I'll never forget, a friend of mine was leaving the Apple store and somebody snatched it. He brought some laptops up there at the computer at the mall, and they snatched his laptops and ran off with them. But he ended up getting those replaced. But this is going to be a short video. I don't know why my computer is acting up. I need to reboot it and maybe. But anyway, a friend of mine was leaving the Apple store a few years back. He had bought some MacBooks or something he had purchased, and I'm pretty sure I thought it was a MacBook or a computer or maybe an iPhone or something. Anyway, he got robbed at gunpoint. He took the stuff and ran off with it. But he had paid for the stuff with his American Express card, and they actually reimbursed him and recovered, so he didn't lose anything. But he knew better than to fight with these guys too. I guess some of you might have never been robbed before. But when you're looking into the eyes of somebody who's robbing you, and you see the desperation and the seriousness of what's going on, you'll learn very quickly to agree to their terms, whatever they're asking for, or they're trying to snatch you, whether it's a purse or... Don't fight back. It's just not worth your life. This is going to be a little short video because my computer's acting up, but I just wanted to... I was always curious about what happened up there outside that Dave Buster's with this young man who was killed. A football player, young guy in high school. I didn't understand what had happened, but now we have those 2 news articles I posted to give you a better idea of what did take place. He was being robbed and he fought back and they shot and killed him. So... Anyway, to say this, my computer's acting to reboot this thing. So today is Sunday, December 4th, the year is 2022. I'm out of here, and I'll be back later with another video once I reboot this computer.